Welcome to day 2
Can you hear me?
of the Power of You Telesummit. I'm so excited to be here. Each of our guests is going to have something special to bring to you, something about their business, something about themselves, something to just inspire you and encourage you if you're thinking of starting a business, or if you're already there and maybe you're stuck. Sometimes the momentum of one of these sessions can really just spark some interest in you and help put a fire under you, so to say. So let's start out. Let's go. Amy, you want to go first? Tell us about yourself. Tell us about what you do and why you decided to do what you do.
Did you say Amy or Kelly?
Amy. You.
Hi. Amy. Just kidding. There's nothing special about that. I'm Amy Leck, and last year I became an entrepreneur for the first time. I am a Young Living independent distributor for essential oils, and I made revolutionary changes in my family and our health and wellness. My daughter's panic attacks are gone. Her anxiety attacks are gone. I'm sleeping through the night for the first time in 11 years. My husband broke his neck in combat, and he's off all medications. I'm off all my allergy medications. He hasn't had a migraine in almost a year. Just like things like that totally changed our lives, and it made me want to help other people. So now I'm also a health coach and a life coach. And last summer, whenever I was getting started with the business and health coach and life coaching, one thing that totally revolutionized my business was getting on my knees and dedicating time for my business to pray for my business. And the act of praying for my business consistently, taking that time first thing in the morning, my business skyrocketed. And in the past 6 months, I actually not only finished my book, but I'm in the publication process at the moment. A book that I hadn't even started 6 months ago. And it's just something that God laid on my heart as a way to help people with their emotional and mental and spiritual health, to do a devotional towards that. Because whenever all the people that I work with my business, they're always about the physical solutions. They don't want to be in physical pain anymore. They want weight loss. They want results that people can see. But the things that are unseen are much more vital to our success physically. So if I offer any tips to you guys tonight, it is to pray for your business. So.
That's so true. I think sometimes people are looking for that physical remedy, maybe that next pill to take, that next bad diet, that next thing. And sometimes you need to look inside. You just really need to be checking in on what's going on with you. So let's go next. Kelly, tell us about what you do and why you decided to do it.
Kelly, you're muted.
I can't hear you, Kelly.
All right, so let's
There
try
we
it again.
go.
Can you hear me
That's
now?
much better.
Okay. So let me just repeat myself. I decided last year that I was going to help small to mid-sized businesses gain financially and fall back in love with their companies, because I have done it in the IT sector for major 200 Fortune companies for the past 20 years using Six Sigma, and I also have an MBA. And so I decided to help small and mid-sized companies do it on my own. And the company is called Early Bird Business Coaching. And I really have found that just taking and finding out, getting into the weeds of where you are today in terms of a company and where you want to be, usually they have to have at least 3 to 5 employees in their company, because, and what I found is that I am like waste management. when I was in corporate, people hated to see me coming, but I could especially utilize those current employees in better ways so that I could pull out more financial bottom line dollar for the companies. And started doing that now for small to mid-sized companies. So it's exciting to see women entrepreneurs, small disadvantaged business owners to grow their business and be successful, and then want to do it after 3 to 5 years. They kind of get stale, and coach them out of that situation. What made me do it was because of my family. I have 2 children, and I want to just be around for them. They're not going to be here always. And I was saying, I've only got like 7 years left with my kids. And corporate, it's really easy to do 50, 60 hours a week. So I wanted to do this, and this is the way that I could do both.
I think that's so important. I know I have grandchildren, and when my kids are grown, my youngest is 26. And when they were little, I worked 2 and 3 jobs. And so I missed like the soccer games, the ballet recitals, all of those little things, that the bringing cookies to the school, cupcakes at the little Valentine's Day parties. And so, and a lot of it was because of the marriage that I was in. I had to work like that because he would not. And so when I remarried and restructured my life, I thought, that's not where I want to be. I have 14 grandkids. I know y'all are shocked. I personally am shocked myself. I wake up mornings going, oh, how did this happen? But I wanted to be that grandmother. They call me Mimi. And I wanted to be that Mimi that the school knew who I was. That I volunteered, that I brought the cupcakes for everybody's birthday, that I showed up for the Valentine's Day parties, that I was there when the Christmas things happened, or when they had concerts, or, or when they were in those little school plays that only last 45 minutes and it takes you 2 to 3 hours for them to set up for it, and they're only on stage for 1 line. But, I wanted to be there. And so that's why I did what I did, because it worked. The flow worked. And it wasn't like publishing was like, oh, let's publish. No, it didn't happen that way. I had a lot of trial and error in my entrepreneur journey. I sold jewelry. I sold soup mixes. I set up at First Monday, which here in Texas is the biggest flea market. There's a lot of trial and error in my journey to entrepreneurship. And I actually fell into where I am now because I wanted to do an anthology, and I got betrayed by the publisher who was supposed to do it. Paid her a lot of money. She didn't do her job, which is why she should research, but she didn't do her job correctly. So I had to step up and take care of it. And then I found that it was natural for me to coax the story out of other women, to help them work through the pain or the fear. And so it was a natural step. And I think in entrepreneurship, sometimes that's what happens. It's what you do naturally. It's what comes to you, what you love, what you're passionate about. I mean, I love jewelry, but when I was selling jewelry, I was like, look, just buy a necklace. Come on. Just pick one off the table and let's go, move on. I wasn't passionate about it. I really did not care. I mean, I just wanted to make sure I made my booth rent and enough to pay some bills, because but I wasn't passionate about it. I wore the jewelry. I loved the jewelry. I made the jewelry, but it was not something that I was like, oh, wow, this is great. This, it's going to change the world with this jewelry. No, I was not passionate. And if you don't have that passion or that drive, business stagnates really quickly. Because we all have those days that it's just like, one more day, is this day ever going to be over? There are only 24 hours in this day, but this one's feeling like 72. I just want to go to sleep and start over again. And if you don't have that passion and that purpose to fall back on in that business, or if your why is not big enough, then you're not going to stick to it. You're not going to make it through, because there are going to be those days. Anyone who tells you that entrepreneurship is like super easy, and you can stay in your pajamas all day and watch ID television and just hang out at home is lying to you. They are just bald-faced lie.
That's right.
Because it takes work to do what we do. It takes work to stay up in education in your field, to know the greatest things, to be able to answer the questions, just like with the living oils. I love the oils, by the way. I have a diffuser. They are my friend. But I don't know anything about them. I asked somebody. And so that's why you have to know. And because people are going to ask, and you have to be able to answer those questions. tell them that you cannot put it directly on you or on somebody else. You got to put it through the carrier oil. These are questions that people need to know. And if you're not passionate about it and you don't know your things or know what you're supposed to do in that area, then it gets stagnant quickly and you'll get burned out because you have to love it. It's a love it or leave it. I see. Oh, she put it directly on. I personally had a little reaction to the peppermint, but so now it's in a roller. The peppermint and me are friends, though. I love the peppermint oil. Oh, I see Andrea got the oils too. I love the peppermint. The peppermint peps your day up. And I'll be honest with y'all, I love the lavender because my grandson is ADD and the lavender helps him sleep. I put it in the room and on the bottom of his feet. And I don't know what that thing does, but it relaxes him. He calms down and he sleeps through the night. It's a godsend.
Definitely.
Andrea, tell us about what you do. I know you are an international person today, so tell us what you do.
Hi.
Why you do it.
Yes. Hi. Am I unmuted?
Yes, you're unmuted. I can hear you.
You can. Perfect.
Yeah, awesome. I can hear you.
Hi, all. How you doing, girls? Awesome. Perfect. Well, I'm from Costa Rica, so I'm here now. I'm super cold, unbelievably cold. What do I do? Well, as you were saying, it's like many different versions of you throughout the process, right? Like you went through jewelry and I have gone through many different things too. One of those being also the essential oils, which I definitely love and super recommend. I even created a line of personal care products based on those essential oils, and I mix them with flower therapy. And I work with them through intention and I program them. So I have a line of personal care products that I just do like tailored and just on the request, because I don't really have a lot of time to put into it. So just if I know that they already have like a name on them, I take my time to work on it. And I love doing it, but it's just that to me, everything has to do with connection. So if I don't feel connected to it, meaning its purpose, either if it's like symbolically or if it's like spiritually or purposely, but I do need to feel that connection to whatever I'm doing. So because of that, I've also found out that it's like everything in life, right? Everything has its cycle and its process. So it gets to a point where I just suddenly am completely like disengaged and I like it, no longer enjoy it, no longer find joy in it. And I say like, okay, perfect. So we need to get to the next level. And I find a way on how to hack it and to improve it and to integrate it with something else. So that's what I have been doing for the past, I don't know, maybe almost 20 years now. So I've been through, I studied psychology, but I don't believe in the normal, regular, conventional speech psychology in a way, or language, verbal psychology. And I'm much more focused into an integral, holistic, and through the body or embodied psychology. So I've gone through like psychosomatic, I've gone through bioenergetics, I've gone through different type of, it's like I've been mastering a wide variety of different languages and codings that are kept within our bodies. So depending on how you believe and where you come from and what makes sense to you as how to create your life, those are your codes and those are your languages for your subconscious. So what I have learned through the process is how to hack that and how to decipher that one-on-one, collectively, family-wise, couple-wise, for processes, for creative processes, for working with intentions, for working with goals, for creating your business, for developing initiatives. So what I do is that through the connection that I feel with the person who feels interested in working with me, or interested in developing, or even kind of like co-creating maybe a process or an initiative, go with them step by step on how to do it. And depending on if I work with them online or if I work with them in my practice, which is also at home, what we do is that we use different tools, because I also am a kinesiologist and a yoga teacher and a meditation teacher. So, and I'm also, I went through a process and I got certified through a methodology that it's called biocreación or biocreation. So it's like a law of attraction methodology, intensive, that is super structured, and it takes you step by step on how to be able to create each of your creative processes. But everything through vibration and working through beliefs and emotionally, and like releasing a lot of stuff, right, from past experiences and everything. So what I have done is that I have found out that every person that comes to me needs a different tool or a different combination of tools. And what I do is that I connect with the person, and we start kind of exploring the different tools that are suitable for that objective or for that area of focus. And we work through that through meditation, essential oils, vibrational therapy, sound therapy, yoga, pranayamas or breathing, and a lot of art therapy. So everything is like from creativity and your intuition. And it's to look for your reintegration so you can redesign yourself as often as you want, but everything through the process. So that's what I do. And my 40-hour work, because I tried to become an entrepreneur and live out of it while I was also being pregnant, because I have 2 kids, and my husband had to change jobs like 3 or 4 times within those 2 or 2.5 years. So I got into that, and it made me go back to work, like a structured work, so I could go back into like scheduling and budgeting and everything, so I could get everything organized again. And I retook my interpreting career, because I am a medical interpreter for English and Spanish. And right now I work from home through video. So I do all this all together, like by cycles in a way.
I think it's so true that when we set our intentions, that sometimes they're for a season. Sometimes that no longer works for us. That no longer is where we want to be, what we want to do. Sometimes it's no longer excites us, brings us joy. And we have to learn to accept the season, because sometimes it's going to, if not, we stay stagnant.
Right, and it's just like a step.
Yeah, we try to keep, putting that square peg in the round hole because it worked before. And so you have to open yourself up to new ideas and to new things coming.
Right.
Amy, tell us give us some tips about.
And what I've also found out is like it takes step by step. Sorry.
That's okay. Amy, give us some tips about using your oils, some things that you would tell a newbie, someone who doesn't know anything about them.
Well, every time whenever I meet someone new, I ask if you could have your ideal self, if you had anything you wanted in your physical body, mental, emotional, spiritual, what would it be? And then we talk about how to achieve that, because a lot of people, I know personally, I had no idea that I could go off of all of my allergy meds. I had been on them so long that I just accepted that this was how it had to be. And by being on those medications, I had that brain fog and I couldn't think clearly. And I had that post-mommy brain that never went away, even though my kids are 11 and 8 now. So for newbies, I always say that there are 3 ways to use them. Topically, make sure you use a carrier oil. Diffuser, you can inhale them. And then the third way is those that are FDA approved for internal consumption. With Young Living, those are the white labels. Then I always offer resources, but the way to remember that, my husband says to rub it, suck it, and snort it. So that's always really fun.
It's a good way to remember it. Kelly, tell us what your ideal client would be. You're still muted.
Okay. Can you ask the question again?
Tell me who your ideal client would be, who can, and how you can help them.
Oh. Okay, so my ideal client is someone that has been making a profit but wants to increase their revenue anywhere from 2 to 5% in the next year. They have 3 to 5 employees, but they can't sleep at night because they've got some major issue. Normally that issue is a lot bigger because they have hit a wall, either in business growth or they're too in the trenches themselves as the business owner. So I work with business owners to get out of the trenches and get clarity, right? What are their top 3 issues? What keeps them up at night? And then we start looking at what each employee is responsible for to as it pertains to the bottom line. Yep. That's my favorite client.
India, tell us 3 tips that you would give someone who's thinking about maybe making a major change. And better yet, how would they use meditation in order to make that major? You know, I love your meditations, even though not all of them are in English. I still listen. Because they're even in Spanish.
Thank you. No, most of them are in Spanish.
I can order my fajitas. That's it. But I really love her meditations because her voice is so, I mean, even though I have no idea what she's saying, it's just her voice is so mellow when she talks that it's easy to guide you into the meditation and for you to stay calm and relaxed, even though it's in a different language. So go ahead and tell us some tips that you would give someone.
First off, I thank you for that feedback. I loved it. I'm actually thinking about doing something in regards to meditation in English. So I'm also open to suggestions. Okay. So just FYI, because I'm kind of rethinking everything for this year. So tips, I would say, first off, what would you really want? Because usually our mind tends to limit ourselves. And we tend to perceive reality from our mind. And that's not necessarily our highest potential or what we can achieve. So we place ourselves with some kind of roof where we don't allow ourselves to go even beyond there because we're scared of the unknown. We are afraid of losing control or not being able to contain the process or not knowing what the outcome might be. So we try to play it safe in a way. And that's okay. I mean, if we have implemented this like defense mechanism, is because it has come out like that to us at some point and we have been hurt, right? So we are just kind of protecting ourselves. But that really keeps us playing it small. So in the end, it's not really smart. And that also helps us to keep beating ourselves up. And that's never like a good option, or it's never a good path to take. It never takes us to a good outcome in a way. So what I always do is like, if you don't need to think about money, if you don't need to think about all the ifs or all the reasons or justification or explanations about why you don't want to take that step, or why you don't want to allow yourself to verbalize what you really want to create in your life. If you forget about all that pure BS, I call it, because it's just the mind, right? What would you really allow yourself to say? And not just say it, but write it down like now, and don't think about it. Just scribble it down. Once you have it done, that's already an intention there, right? So, okay, now allow yourself to feel. That's like the second step, right? So that's like the second tip. Allow yourself to feel that. Already there. You already have it. You don't need to know nor figure out or explain or replicate or whatever. You're already there. You don't need to know how you got there. You don't need to know the step-by-step process, because life will guide you. The process is perfect. So knowing that this is how it works, because life is perfect, okay, how would you feel being there? Like, just feel it, vibrate it, let it resonate inside. Every single cell shakes with its vibration. And allow yourself to feel that from the tip of your toe to the tip of your, and every single cell is connected in that vibration. And allow yourself to be there, right? Whatever you feel, it's just energy. You don't need to tag it. You don't need to describe it. You don't need to know what it is. Just let yourself feel that and be there, right? In that vibration. And just allow yourself to bring your attention to the sole of your feet. And that will keep you grounded. So you can embody this. And you can be this. And you become this in your body, in every cell of your body and of your being, in every dimension, in every possibility, in every multiverse that it's there for us to tap into. Because it's there. If you can think it, it's because it's there. If you can think it and conceive it, it's because at some point you've done it without knowing and recognizing it. In some reality, in some dimension, that possibility is already there.
I think we put the limits on ourselves. And a lot of times as women, we put the limits that other people have placed on us. I know I personally am the first entrepreneur in my family. And so when I told my mother, you know, when I wrote my first book and it published, and I told my mom what I was going to do, my mother said, Walmart is hiring, child. And they have retirement. So I mean, she had no idea. She didn't, you know, and I was like, no, Mom, you don't understand. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go to the school and, you know, I'm going to be flexible and all this. And my mom was like, no, child, you really need to be paying in some Social Security and you need to get you a job with a paycheck because you went to school and got a degree. And I really don't think that you're supposed to be using that degree to talk to people on your laptop. And so she just didn't understand. And I think that's part of it. She was like, that Facebook thing is a waste of your time. Who are you going to know on there? You know, and so I was just like, no, Mom, you don't understand. You can do business like this. You can do business from anywhere. You can travel, laptop. I mean, I remember the first t-shirt my kids bought me because my girls were like inspiring. They got it because they remember what it was like when I worked 3 jobs to feed us. And so they got it, you know, they understood. So they were supportive and they got me this t-shirt and it said, all you need is Wi-Fi and love. And I was like, this is me, because all you need to do is love what you do and have Wi-Fi. You must have Wi-Fi. And so if you love what you do and have Wi-Fi, you can change the world. So as we are closing up, I'm going to go through each of you and you tell us how the listeners can connect with you. Amy, tell us where they can reach you and how they can get a hold of you.
Facebook. My whole business runs off of Facebook. I also have a big email, just AMIE kellyjlech@gmail.com. And you can find me on Facebook. So,
Kelly, tell us how they can reach you.
Hey, you guys can reach me Facebook as well. And also shoot me an email, Kelly@earlybirdbc, stands for business coaching, earlybirdbc.com. But Facebook is preferred. Yes.
Yes. Andrea, tell us how we can reach you.
Also in Facebook through Andrea Montero. Or also you can shoot me an email, andreaterapia@gmail.com.
Thank each of you for being on tonight. I'm so excited. I also will be sending you information because we're featuring you in the magazine. So I'm offering you to write 200 to 500 words on your business and what you do to be in next month's magazine. So I'll be sending y'all the information for that. And I'm so excited that y'all joined us. And I hope that other women were inspired by what you do, and really to see the faces and know that real women in entrepreneurship is possible as long as you work at it. And, you know, it is work, but you have to, as long as you love what you do and you step out of your comfort zone and make yourself available to opportunities, it does great things. Thank y'all so much for joining me tonight, and y'all have a great night.